Hi, and we are live with the finals of the Saturday weekend tournament from the Paper Legacy Discord. We have Vintage Drizzle versus Bassa Foods Haven, and this is DocDeLeo with my co-host Chaotic Bear live. Hi,
Howdy,
how you doing, buddy?
Chaoticbear here. I'm doing great, man. Excited to watch these two decks go.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, we have a really interesting matchup. Bassin, Fuz, and Sudan. It's more complicated than some of the scientific names I know for bacteria.
Yeah.
He is on Gobos. This is it's pretty much the standardized Goblins list that's been around. If you watch the Thursday mod fight, actually, he was featured against. Wasn't
I
it
guess.
you,
Yeah,
Chaotic?
it was me. I lost real hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
buddy. That storming off at the very end there, I was pulling for you. Oh, like you were my one hope in that match.
Yeah, I found it hard.
Yeah, I was actually
But
playing against a friend of mine last night with Commander, and I actually echoed Eons with the Narset on board. So
yeah,
I channeled it for you, buddy.
nice. Yeah, I boarded mine out because it didn't seem good against him.
Yeah.
Players are ready to go. By the way, they are processing some mulligans. They've rolled for play draw. It looks like Bass is on the play.
That's on the play.
So I'm just going to let them know that we're ready for them to go.
Yeah. Yeah, and
So
Vintage J Drizzle is on a Yorion list as he revealed right there. He is calling it Bug, Urza, and Friends list.
yep.
So, do you want to walk us through this list, Chaotic? This seems like your kind of list.
Yeah, it's very greedy, and I appreciate that a lot. So we have Yorion as the companion. There's some value creatures in Ramp and Gilded Goose, Baleful Strix, Imri, Urza, and a little bit of spice here. 2 Brea Ethereum Shapers. So there must be some sort of combo engine going on in there. Planes got some value Planeswalkers. A lot of the good blue cards. Chalice, Main Deck Explosives, Opal, just all the stuff that you see in a blue artifact deck he's got in there.
Yeah. So what's really interesting here? So I actually know Brea quite a bit. In fact, she was one of my first competitive EDH decks I've ever built, actually.
Yep.
And she goes infinite with a lot of things. If you create infinite mana, you can just do some disgusting things with Brea and like re-sacrificing artifacts and sacrificing herself and bringing it back and stuff like that. Like she is disgusting, just combo engine. And of course, we see like the good old fashioned Oko, Gilded Goose, and stuff like that happening.
Yeah, it looks like he took a snow controlled deck and an artifact like Tezzerator sort of list and just sort of shuffled them together.
Yeah, and that's what it looks like. And it's really, honestly, it's worked for him so far. And as we know that when it comes to these companion decks, just having that ETH card is like such an advantage that sometimes you just throw some stuff together and it works.
Yep.
And we see Bass on turn 1 Badlands into Goblin Lackey. Let's see.
That is a powerful start.
Yeah, that's exactly where you want to be with Gobos. Does he have any sort of interaction? Nope, just 4 Force of Will, 1 Force of Negation, besides some Planeswalkers. So that Goblin Lackey, it looks like it is going to connect.
Yep, and Goblin Lackey is just an absurd card in this deck. I mean, just getting to turn 2 Goblin Ringleader or War Chief or just any of the enablers is insane.
Yeah. And when you see a fetch for Vintage down to 19,
E on 1.
That is an Engineer Explosive. So that is a way to get rid of the Lackey, but not before it connects.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty clean, especially if he finds a way to rebuy that, like with Imri or something, though.
Yeah.
That's going to be brutal.
Jordan, can you drop Vintage life down to 19? 18 now. Thanks, buddy. So, Mr. Jack Dax in the background running things right now. Oh, big help. Oh, and we see a Goblin Trash Master.
Oh, there's an answer for the explosives. That was timely.
Yeah, Goblin Trash Master card from, what was it?
M19, I think.
M19, yeah. Bringing such good hits. Oh, wait, did M19 bring? No, M20 brought Veil of Summer.
Yeah, was Drun from Tomorrow in M19 as well?
I think it was.
Okay.
Yeah, so looks like Vintage is getting to untap with the Engineered Explosives.
And
so
he should be at So he should be at 17 now after double fetch and lackey hit.
Yes, 17.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. I figured Best would try to get rid of that EE by. I mean, losing a lackey is a big cost, and you don't want to lose the Trash Master against the artifact deck. But
yeah, and honestly, I think what it just comes down to, it's just that. I mean, does he really care that, with the activation on the stack, you just sacrifice the lackey and blow up the Lotus Pedal?
Yeah, that's fair. You make him tap his mana this way as well, because you only have one thing for it to kill.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So in that sense, he's forcing Vintage to tap down during his turn and also commit more resources, losing more resources in this exchange. So yeah, I think that the not sacrificing the lackey there was the correct play.
Yeah, you see Vintage aggressively focusing or aggressively fetching basics here against the Wasteland deck.
Yeah, well. And I mean, everybody knows that Goblins is pretty much just mono red death and taxes. They're just trying to tap things down, wasteland you, land a threat, and boom, there you go. And looks like Vintage has a Force of Will for the.
It's a pro blue one, right?
Yes, that is Pile Driver.
Pile Driver. Okay.
Yeah, and countering the. Pile Driver has protection for blue, but not uncounterable.
Yeah, is he pitching Brea to it?
Yeah, he pitched Brea.
The classic play there.
Yeah. And I bet Bass is just like, you could see Vintage showing the Brea and seeing what the hell it is. And just Commander, Commander cards can be powerful.
Those are cards.
Yeah.
Found a Mishra's Bubble. He has a Emery to recycle artifacts, but he doesn't have like the Bomberman combo or anything in here.
No Bomberman, but definitely Emery. And Emery, the powerful Throne of Eldraine card, constantly proving how good that set was.
I think people are sleeping on that card. What is he showing us?
Emery? Oh no, like it is very much. I think it's honestly like a really good card.
Yeah, I just don't see it in a lot of lists. Like I feel like it should. It's a powerful card, powerful effect.
Yeah.
Although with Luris in the format, I think we just had better ways to recur stuff sometimes.
Yeah, honestly. Thank God that's gone.
Oh yeah. I'm sort of glad we got to see it for a week on this league, though, or on these weekends. Yeah.
I mean, I wrote about it, and the first thing I did was did a companion breakdown on there. And I mean, we had a Luris deck take the turn, and we had a Luris deck in the top 5, and we had a Yorion deck. It was Yorion Luris final. So it's one of those things that the Trash Master got him for 3, Vintage
Vintage
13.
13, yeah.
And that's a Goblin Matron, and that's game.
Yeah, so he did resolve Chalice on 1, but obviously Bass doesn't have any counter magic for that, but it just didn't matter because Goblin Matron finds him whatever he wants.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, and he can get rid of it at literally any time, so
yeah,
it's not that big of a deal. In this matchup, we have so for Vintage J Dizzle, we have 14 cards in the sideboard, at least. He's going to be on the play for this next round. So here's what I have for you, and tell me what you like, Chaotic. So we got 2 Chains of Mephistopheles. First of all, whoever has 2 Chains of Mephistopheles to throw into a deck, that's a big flex.
We do allow proxies, so... I mean, I don't think his are... I don't actually think his are proxied, though, right?
Yeah, no, I think he does, because Vintage also does play on the Vintage server as well, so...
Gross.
3 Collective Brutality, 2 Arcane Laboratory,
nice,
3 Engineered Plague, and 4 Leyline of the Void. What do you like here?
Yeah. I mean, the 3 Engineered Plague are just sort of a given. Collective Brutality does do almost everything. I don't know if he has enough stuff that he wants to bring out here. Bass has a lot of main deck hate already for the artifacts, and so there may be some stuff to cut there and just sort of go like mid-range, go control, and lean on the Engineered Plague, because Bass on mono red is not going to have any way to remove that, I don't think.
Yeah, no. So Bass on Goblins, this is his sideboard.
Yeah.
2 Chalice for the Void, 2 Grafdigger's Cage, 2 Pyroblast, 1 Red Element, 1 Relic of Progenitus, 1 Surgical Extraction, 2 Mindbreak Trap, Squad, and 3 Pyro.
I mean, the red blast effects are super easy to bring in here. I don't think that the graveyard hate is going to be a super big deal. Bringing his own chalices just to tag Chalice on 0 or Chalice on 1 to 8 with some of his opponent's stuff is nice. There's that sort of medium. How do you feel about like Surgical Extraction or Earwig Squad as just some ways to get good cards out of Vintage's deck?
So I personally am on the 3 blasts, 2 Pyro Blasts, 1 Red Elemental, and then definitely the 1 Surgical. So as we've seen so far, we can see that he's an artifact-based deck. And any artifact-based deck right now in Legacy is definitely utilizing the graveyard a lot to recycle a combo piece of some kind.
Yep.
So it's one of those things that I think bringing in the 1 Surgical Extraction as a hedge, it's not a dead card, and it's not exactly a terrible card. So
yeah, I mean you can just always cast it for value here and there if you need to.
Oh yeah, exactly. So and honestly, there's enough things that you can possibly cut here. I mean,
yeah, Monk Fanatic doesn't do a whole lot against him, I don't think, because all of his creatures are bigger than that.
Yeah, the Chain Roller, you can probably cut one of those. You can probably cut one of the.
Yeah. Chain Whirler, maybe not the. Although there are a lot of like Thopters and Servos and stuff coming out of Vintage's deck, I think.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, if you're on that game plan, I mean, I think you might already be. All right, and here we see the start. Vintage starting off with a Blue Delta, fetching for a Tropical Island. Very ballsy play against a Wasteland deck.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming some sort of like Gilded Goose or some sort of effect like that. Yep. Yeah. And we see the goose is loose.
Full art. Nice.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, very unique, actually. Gilded Goose gives you an artifact towards the Mox Opal Metalcraft count. Never thought about that.
No, and I guess that means he'll also have to keep track of what's going on and whether he wants to sack that food or not, because he may turn off his own Metalcraft.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be really interesting to see how he plays this.
If he has another artifact next turn, it means he turns on Mox Opal and he can also crack the goose after he uses Mox Opal.
Yeah.
So Vintage should be at 19 from the fetch.
Yeah, he should definitely be at 19.
Another non-basic here. So we see Bass miss turn 1 altogether.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah. I would be surprised. He must have kept a hand with some hate pieces in it to not have turn 1 Lackey or turn 1 Ether Vial.
Yeah, and we see here that Engineer Plague.
Turn 2, that's brutal.
Yeah. That's pretty rough. So let's count how many X1s are in Bass's deck.
I don't know if I want.
Spoiler, it's a lot. At least 4 Lackey, 1 Mag Fanatic, 1 Skirt Prospector.
Yeah.
Probably
War Marshal and the tokens it makes.
Yeah. This is
Munitions Expert, Jim Palm Incinerator, Matron. Ringleader makes some friends, or not Ringleader makes some friends. Sling Egg makes some friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All of them dead.
Yeah.
But I mean, what's really interesting when it comes to this list, sorry to cut you off there, Chaotic, is I wonder if he sided out the 1 Pashalik Mon.
Yeah, I definitely had to read that one whenever we were there. But keeping that in would be pretty spicy.
Yeah, so the 1 Pashalik Mons is actually pretty unique. It's a 3-mana goblin. It's a 2/2. And then whenever Pashalik Mons or another goblin you control dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. And you can pay 4 and sacrifice a goblin to create 2 1/1 red goblin creature tokens. And it's a 2/2, which is really interesting. So, go ahead.
I was going to say, second mode isn't going to be interesting against Engineered Plague, but if he can just get some tokens out, then he can start doming regardless of Engineered Plague.
Yeah, exactly. If you're able to land a Pashalik Mons and you just cast your 1/1s into it, you don't care that they're dying because they're always dealing 1 damage.
Yep. We have a Chalice on 1 over there, which I don't think is going to do a whole lot against or with Engineered Plague on the board as well, because all those 1-drops just die already.
All those 1-drops die. I mean, it's just redundancy.
Yeah.
Redundancy. Is that a word?
Yeah. Redundancy is a word, yeah. And Vintage at 18. He cracked a Misty Rainforest on his turn.
Yeah.
Wow. Bass has the double Wasteland to take down Tropical Island and Tropical Island and Caracas. But Vintage is he's hitting his land drops. He's fine.
Yeah. And of course he can still he does have Metalcraft now.
Yep, and Engineer Explosives on 2, I think. And backup. Oh, was that EE on 0?
I think that was EE on 0 to turn on the
Oh.
Mox Opal to cast a second Engineered Plague, and I think
Yeah.
this might be game for Bass, because once you
Yeah.
start giving your goblins -2/-2, they can't come back for that.
Yeah, I mean he has Trashmaster's a 3/3, and I think that's his only one.
Yeah, Trashmaster's a 3/3. Goblin Chain Whirler, if he kept it in, is a 3/3. This is shaping up, like you said. It looks like Vintage just went straight for the mid-range control plan of just grinding out
Aether Vial on top of the deck, so
Aether
that's
Vial on top of
he
the deck.
can't even cast that.
He can't cast it. Yeah, no, I think this game is over. So
Yeah, this is a quick finals.
yeah. Well, I mean, Bass is up a game. So
we have Vintages up a game at the top. Did Bass win the first game?
Yeah, Bass won the first game because of the fact that he got there with the.
That's right. He had turn 1 Lackey into turn 2 Pile Driver.
Yeah, I think Bass might have kept a slow hand with.
Oh, no worries. Okay, so he finds Goblin Matron. He'll get the trigger. I can only imagine he's going to go get Trashmaster here, right? That's the only.
I think Trashmaster, but yeah, Trashmaster.
I mean, he can at least eat the. Oh, actually, what did he? Oh, Goblin Matron costs 3. Never mind. I was thinking that we missed a chalice trigger, but. So backup mode of Gilded Goose actually making a food over there.
Yeah.
Seed of the Sign-On, Artifact Land. That's a. I'm surprised that those have not broken out more in Legacy.
Well, I think what it came down to is that the old blue stompy decks of old and stuff like that have all kind of petered out in the face of like Oko and other things like that. So it's kind of hard to play like artifact based stuff when you're when a +1 turns your land into an elk. Okay, yeah, and we see Bass going back to his turn, and yeah, Vintage flickered out some stuff with Yorion versus the value flicker. Vintage, very unusual when it comes to a Yorion list, is that he's not running any Arkham's Astral.
Oh, my apologies, my internet died, but looks like I'm back.
Oh, okay, good to hear, Chaotic.
So he did resolve his Yorion, but he doesn't have.
He did resolve his Yorion, and he flickered out a Gilded Goose and a Mox Opal. So just resetting for some what's called resetting his Mox Opal and creating another food. So I mean, right now I don't think in his deck Bass has a way of getting rid of Engineered Plague. Now Plague Engineer, but not Engineered Plague.
Yeah, one of the few times where Engineered Plague is just better, because Plague Engineer has been the darling of Legacy for the last year.
Oh yeah, easily. I mean, I run 2 of them in my deck as well, just because it's just so good, and sometimes it honestly just gives you free wins.
Yeah, and here Yorion, we're just seeing the backup mode of 4/5 flyer basically.
Yeah,
I mean, he just needs a way to win. Oh,
and there's a Tezzeret. Yeah, I think Bass is more just trying to get more information right now, because he killed so fast that last game that he's just trying to figure out what the hell should I be citing. And we see Bass bringing in that one sideboard Relic of Progenitus.
Yep, I mean, if nothing else, it cycles. So
yeah, exactly.
But he was not able to cast it through the chalice. Did he attempt to cast it and I missed it?
Yeah, he attempted to cast it and chalice trigger ate it.
Yeah.
Now we see a Strix being revealed off the Tezzeret Plus.
Another Mox Opal? Or is that the same Mox Opal?
It's another Mox Opal.
Okay. Man, he has got everything this game.
Yeah.
But being able to cast that turn 2 Engineer Plague just meant that Bass was never getting into the game. He locked him out super early.
Yeah.
What?
And there's the Emery, and I think that might be game over. He can bring back all sorts of artifacts. Like, honestly, every single turn, it's just bringing back the Lotus Petal. And Yorion getting in for damage, bringing Bass down to 15, I'm guessing? Yeah. Or 13.
It says 13. I think we may have... no, we didn't miss a hit with anything. He cast Emery this turn.
Yeah. It might have been from the fetches.
Oh, okay. I wasn't watching for fetches on Bass's side. I was just seeing those wastelands stack up.
Yeah, and we see a Goblin Pile Driver hit the field, die. Yeah, and Bass at this point is just trying to get information.
Yeah, I don't know what playing the pile driver does there, other than wanting to make a game action because this is frustrating.
Probably that, honestly. It never feels good watching the Oko / like mid-range player play with themselves while you can't do anything.
Yeah, your opponent who has about 10, 12 non-land permanents to your 0.
Yeah, exactly. And yep, that's a Tezzeret ultimate for lethal.
Yep, drain and gain for. Yep.
For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Yeah, 8 times 2. That's 16. Yeah. So okay. Yeah, Vintage taking home game number 2, and I think Bass was definitely like trying to just hold out for some information there, trying to figure out what the hell is happening, what sort of 80 card monstrosity he's playing against, and now I think he's going back to the drawing board.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's anything in his sideboard that I particularly love bringing in. If he didn't have Chalice in before, I bet he gets it in now because just Chalice on 0 will help a little bit. It's not backbreaking for him, but
yeah, and
Cage turns off Emery.
Honestly, I think I bring in the Earwig Squad just because you're so afraid of the the Engineer Plague, and it's your only way of getting rid of cards with the it's your only way of getting rid of it.
Yeah, that's a good point because he doesn't have any discard and he doesn't have any ways to enable the surgical extraction there.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be worried a little bit about overboarding here just because you need some number of creatures to actually win the game, but you also have to not lose the game if you're going to win the game.
Yeah, exactly. So I honestly think cutting some of the X1s that get hit, like honestly, Mog Fanatic doesn't feel as good in this game. I would probably have cut like the Prospector, and I would definitely always mulligan to a turn 1 and Goblin Lackey, because once the Goblin Lackey is on the board, Vintage just doesn't have a way of getting rid of it besides like Engineered Explosive and Engineered Plague.
Yeah. I mean, Ether Vial is a little bit slower of a start, but at least you can get some pressure on the board that way.
Yeah. Welcome, Roland MTG. Hey, glad you're enjoying the legacy content.
Yep. I mean, I think we were right about Vintage. He either just didn't hit the combo side of his deck, or maybe he doesn't have it in there anymore. But what he's doing now, it just works fine.
Yeah, honestly, I would just cut the combo. I mean, it is so hard for Goblins to win through Engineered Plague. I think it's just find the Engineered Plague, protect the Engineered Plague, and just sit there and just beat you down with 3/3s from Oko or Tezzeret you out, anything like that.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he has a way to search for it. He has Scroll Rack, and there are 2 Scroll Racks, which is another EDH staple.
Yeah, seriously, this thing is very close to an EDH deck, honestly. So yeah, we see 2 Scroll Rack, 1 Metal Spinner's Puzzle Knot, which is
yeah, I can. 1 second.
I will chat with chat for right now.
Oh, yeah. Bass said 1 second, got phone problems. He'll be right back.
Okay. So we got Metal Spinner's Puzzle Knot, which says when it enters the battlefield, you draw a card and lose 1 life. 2 in a black, sacrifice it. You draw a card and lose 1 life. Hey, this is. I mean, it's a Kaladesh card, and Kaladesh was a broken set. So, and then we have a Cogworker's Puzzle Knot, but does the same thing except for creating 1/1 servos. I don't know why he's running this, but I love the fact that you just recur it with Emery and get more and more value.
Yeah, I mean, you can make a token every turn. I mean, it just gives you something to do to use your mana efficiently, right? Like if you just untap with 4 mana, you can draw a card.
Yeah, and it fuels your Tezzeret, it fuels your Urza. I mean, it gives you things to sacrifice off Brea. But honestly, I like if I was as Vintage, I would have cut the 2 Brea right away. A 4 mana spell, 4 mana color intensive spell against a Wasteland Rashad Import deck.
Yeah, I mean, if he can cast it, that's great because of the mode that can -4/-4 Baz's guys. But I think that by the time you get there, you've already won or not. One of the 2.
Yeah, Yeah, exactly. And most importantly in this matchup right now, Bass is on the play, and that's where Goblins really wants to be. If he gets a turn one lackey into any sort of combat damage, it's going to put him so far ahead.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't have that lackey, I don't know if I keep the hand.
Yeah. Do you think Vintage has kept all of his counter magic in? I mean, I think that there aren't a lot of splashy plays out of Bass's side that would require you to have Force Negation in your deck.
I would cut Force Negation right away. Personally, with me, whenever I'm facing against like fair creature matchups, I always cut my 1 of Force Negation.
Yeah.
So,
We don't have a lackey. We have a Vial.
Yeah, so Bass is starting off with Mountain into Vial. The second strongest start Goblins can do.
And Basic Island from Vintage playing around the Wasteland this game.
Yeah.
He has a turn one play, though.
Chalice on 1. Oh, but very unique here. Since it's a Chalice on 1, Aether Vial on 1 doesn't care. It was just like, okay, I'll just put my stuff into play anyways.
Yeah. So, once he takes that up, he'll be locked out of stuff like Goblin Lackey for then. But yeah, he can just put whatever he wants out now.
Yeah, and we have a Rashad in port. See, right there, the mana denial strategy plus the Aether Vial still being able to make a play.
Yep. Plus, he was on the play this game, which meant he was able to get this out without Engineered Plague before his second turn.
Emery flipping over Tezzeret, Urza, Karakas, and Misty. Yeah.
Yeah. So nothing exciting in there, but you have Emery. That's exciting.
Yeah. I mean, Emery just fuels so many busted strategies, and just being able to recur the Lotus Petal each turn right there fixes your mana.
Yeah.
Oh, we did not have a 1-drop to put in with the Aether Vial.
It looks like he might have just kept on the back of Rashad and Port, Aether Vial, and stuff then.
Yeah.
I don't think Vintage has taken any life yet, right?
Yeah, Vintage hasn't taken any damage right now.
He played the island naturally.
Yeah. So, and once again, we see a Port putting it down. Oh, wait. Oh, he might be fetching now.
Oh. I was just casting the Lotus Petal out of his graveyard.
Yeah. Is he going to fetch?
The suspense, Jack.
Oh, he fetches.
Okay.
No, he fetches.
He doesn't even know what's going on. That's the funny part. He's not trolling us. He doesn't know that he doesn't know about his life on stream.
Sorry, Jordan, buddy. You gotta put it back up to 20.
Get your hand off that fetch land. Give the man a turn here.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
Yeah. So I really hope for Beth's sake that he's got a 2-drop here, because otherwise he's just not going to get out in front of anything Vintage is doing. If he just keeps
he is cracking the Misty.
Oh, there we go, 19. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, I really hope that he has something to put off of this one. There's a lot of powerful 2-drops that he can really put him into the game.
Yeah, if he can Ringleader here and then untap cast War Chief, then that's probably pretty good for him. Yeah, 19. There we go. Oh, Ringleader's a 4-drop. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Ringleader is...
Pile Driver into War Chief is what I said. Isn't War Chief a 3-drop?
War Chief, War Marshal is a 2-drop.
No, if he untaps, if he Aether Vials in Pile Driver here.
Pile Driver.
And then untaps, and then he can Vial in the War Chief, and then he can just sort of go off and cast all sorts of stuff since it's cheaper.
Yeah, exactly. That would be awesome, but I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what's in Bass's hand. He just ticked up to 3. He didn't put anything in on 2.
Yeah, what could he be holding on to? I mean, he could have like a couple blasts in his hand, but he would have hit the Emery at this point, surely. Well, no, because Chalice. Yeah, maybe he has a land-heavy hand. Maybe he has mono 3-drops. Here's a 3-drop. Matron, okay.
Goblin Matron, yep. And Bass does have...
Munitions Expert.
Munitions Expert.
Yeah, Munitions Expert from Modern Horizons. Yeah, Modern Horizons, it's a 1/1 for red-black. When it enters the battlefield, you can hit a creature or planeswalker equals the number of goblins you control. So that's going to hit Emery for 2 and knock down Emery there.
Yeah. Most importantly with this card, it does also have Flash. So you can sneak it in and on an end step and such like that and blow out somebody real quick. So
Yeah. That's surprising. I thought that he was going to go for the artifact hate route, but I guess getting rid of the artifacts doesn't do anything if you have Emery out, other than type his mana.
Yeah, and at this point, that's just an engineer explosive on 1. So that's just going to take out the Aether Vial. Like, yeah, it sucks, but yeah, not as much.
That's fair. I don't have any experience in this seat from the Goblin side of things, so whenever I see engineer explosives in my life in general, I'm usually pretty afraid of it. But
yeah.
it looks like it's not doing a whole lot against him right now.
Yeah. And Bass does now have a Cavern of Souls, so he can cast 1-drops through the Cavern, and it won't care about the Chalice on 1.
Yep.
Yeah, Roland, Cavern is better than Chalice.
Second port here. I mean, if he just swings in every turn for 2 damage, and then Mutant Expert is a 1/1.
Munitions. Oh yeah, it is a 1/1. Yeah, wow.
Oh,
and
there's
so yeah, 2 damage, and then just porting everything down.
Oh, Earwig, thank you.
Oh, that's the Earwig. Oh,
so he
buy Plague.
Engineer Plague, yeah.
Engineer Plagues, yeah.
I bet he doesn't even need to see the deck. She's just calling it. Yep. That's a clean answer.
Yeah, and we see the Earwig coming through, the Earwig squad coming through and stealing that. And this is the first time Bass actually gets a full look of the library. It looks like he kept in the Troll Rat.
Yeah, he's taking his time there to admire. I like that.
Yeah, and to be fair, I think there was a glare in the screen because the deck is so shiny.
Yeah, I saw a Brea go past. He kept at least 1 Brea in. I think there's Collector Brutality there too, though.
Yeah, and Mark Doc, you are correct in the library and in the that Earwig squad is a 5/3, so it is a very efficient clock.
Yeah, getting that prowl cost is a mechanic we do not see a lot.
Yeah, prowl being if you deal combat damage with a goblin or you get to play it for the prowl cost.
Yep. So normally that card costs 3 and 2 black, and it costs 2 and a black with the prowl cost. And uncounterable Cavern.
Do you take out? Oh, it looks like he's taking out the Engineer Plagues.
Yeah, there's no other choice, right?
Yeah, I don't think there's any other choice.
Yeah, I mean, if the 3rd one's in his hand, he would have found a way to deploy it with Lotus Petal at this point. But
yeah, but it looks like he is just going to rip the Engineer Plague straight from the deck, and at this point, Vintage is very much on the back foot. Like there is double overshot in port. This is his last turn that he's going to get all of his mana up, so he has to do something this turn. Otherwise, he might just be screwed.
Yeah, that 5/3 is that's a quick clock. He's got 7 power in play already.
Yeah.
There's EE. He can only make blue. This doesn't do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just an EE for 1.
All right, there's Emery.
Oh, it looks like it was an EE for 0 to reduce the cost and then
for Emery. Yeah. Okay. So I didn't see what all he hit. There's looks like a Mox Opal in there on top.
Mm-hmm. It was a Mox Opal, an Urza, a Tesserator, and that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's a good point from chat. Yeah, Prowl can be reduced with Goblin finishing came up for him.
That's a Caracas, and that is game over. Bass Vano Sudan is our champion for the week. It is finally Gobos. After me writing about Gobos for weeks, we've had a Gobbo player every single week. A Gobbo player finally took it down. Congratulations, Bass. Can we get some hype in the chat for the Gobos?
Yeah, I mean, if he swept me on Thursday, then I'm happy that he won it today. I want to lose to a champion, not a loser, right?
Yeah. That was, I mean, the Earwig squad was just perfect. Being able to hit those these engineered plagues and be able to do, we see they brought in the black, they brought in the relic, and obviously the Earwig squad.
Yeah, and it's the same on the other side. Engineered plagues and collective brutalities.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the being able to eat his creatures, just having some removal since his main deck is so light, and it's actually Engineer Explosives the only removal in his main deck, isn't it?
So, I mean, it's one of those things that the combination of not having the interaction for the turn one lackey in game one, and then being able to just, keep him off the mana and keep him off the engineer play in game three really just showed it. But Vintage Deck is truly like very powerful. It demonstrates the power of Companion. Just having 80 cards doesn't reduce your effectiveness at all.
Yeah.
You're still a very effective deck at doing what you do.
Yeah.
So
He's not playing any of the standard 1-mana Brainstorm, Ponder, Preordain, anything like that to find his pieces. So and there's 80 cards in there. I guess that's a concession to Chalice of the Void. If you're going to Chalice your opponent for one, you can't really be playing 10, 12 1-drops yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So, but overall, I think a very interesting matchup. We are going to have Bass's list posted in the Hall of Champions on the Discord. So if you want to check that out, head on over to the Discord. If you hit !Discord, the bot will show you the Discord link. So, really hope that, and we're really glad that these have been taking off and that these weekend tournaments have been having plenty of people in. So it's been a lot of fun and good old-fashioned legacy paper magic.